Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we are going to be talking about cards to keep an eye on with Murders of Karlov Manor coming up. When LCI came out, Lost Caverns and the Commander decks and stuff came out from that, we know that there was some characters and some cards that just skyrocketed up in price and gave some homes to some older cards and stuff. So I want to kind of talk about a few of these because we know kind of the thematics and the mechanics behind Murders of Karlov Manor already. We know that, it's going to be doing some stuff with investigate, some clue stuff, some detective stuff, a fair few different kind of things that we already know. So I want to kind of talk about some cards that have come out that I think could potentially be looking good in this new set. This is obviously prior to much being shown. We've got some stuff shown here. So this is magicspoiler.com. They've got a lot of the different cards that have already been shown. You can see there's a whole bunch of stuff to do with clues over here, some sacrificing some artifacts and stuff, sacrificing clues here from the Curious Cadaver. There's detectives as well. So detective is a relatively new creature type. Previously used in the Doctor Who set, and then obviously is coming back here with Murders at Karlov Manor. More stuff to do with investigate. You've got some detective stuff there, sacrificing artifacts here with demand answers. More investigate again. There's a lot of different kind of investigate stuff in here and stuff to do with sacking artifacts and those kinds of things. Lots of really cool stuff. Even Alquizit, I can't pronounce that, Proft here, making it so you can sacrifice clues to draw cards and stuff. Lots of really good stuff. So I wanted to kind of talk about cards that we've kind of seen, like cards that have come out that will potentially be looking good here. So here's an example, Gleaming Gear Drake. So this one's coming out with Karlov Manor. Here gets buffed from sacrificing artifacts and investigates on entry. Here, sacrificing artifacts. A lot of stuff to do with sacrificing artifacts. This one here with Detectives Matter. So buffing up your detectives with +2/+2, or it sets something back to base power 1/1 and it can't block detectives. So detectives are going to be good, and clues and investigate stuff. So let's have a look. So first of all, there's Astroth, who came out with the Doctor Who set. She makes it so whenever you sacrifice a clue or a food token, she is going to explore, which is really nice. We've got a whole bunch of clue tokens that are coming in. We're going to be sacrificing them. And it's not just when you sacrifice them to do their actual effects. So, the pay to and then sacrifice it. It's actually just, whenever you sacrifice something. So there's lots of different times that you can do that. She also creates some food tokens there. We've got Briar Bridge Patrol. So this one was Shadows of Innistrad. Quite a while ago. Only an uncommon, so it's not going to be super rare or anything. You're going to be able to potentially pick it up pretty cheap. But whenever it deals damage to one or more creatures, it's going to investigate. Not super important, but this second part here, if you sacrifice 3 or more creatures this turn, 3 or more clues this turn, you can put a card from your hand onto the battlefield. So any card you can put onto the battlefield that is a creature card. So there's lots of really cool stuff that you could potentially kind of pull off with this. We've got the 500-year diary. So this is from Doctor Who again, and it's going to give you a blue mana for each clue you control. It is actually a clue itself as well. So, it's going to count for that, as well as, being able to give you a lot of mana here, especially if you're pumping up blue, pumping out clues left, right, and center. There's actually a lot of the blue cards that are going to be able to create clues and stuff. So you could potentially find some really great uses for this there. We've got Tet Seller of Secrets. So he is going to allow you to, whenever he deals combat damage to a player or whenever he enters the battlefield, make everyone vote. You can potentially investigate from this and get your clue tokens. And then you can even choose to get more clue tokens as well. For each bribery vote, you also get to create treasures. This one's not so much. I just wanted to kind of include it because it is an interesting character, as well as it, having you can force yourself to, at least you can choose investigate twice. So you can create 2 clue tokens from him every time he attacks or enters the battlefield. We got Disorder in Court. So this is going to be allowing you to exile all your creatures and then bring them back at the end of the next end step. You can even get rid of other people's creatures as well if you want, but it also allows you to investigate a bunch of times. Relatively cheap, only 83 cents here, 58 cents for the borderless one here. But, you know, being able to allow you to investigate a lot of times, as well as exile a whole bunch of creatures, is going to be very nice. You know, if you've got a deck that's built around blink, you can use this. If you've got just, you know, you just want protection, you've got the choice of this. If you know, you want protection in like a, and then investigate as well, it's going to be useful. We've got Trail of Evidence. So this is going to be whenever you cast an instant or spell, you're going to get to investigate. Pretty cheap. Shadows from Innistrad. Shadows is obviously a lot of different kind of clue tokens are going to be coming from there. So here you're going to be able to create a clue token every time you instant or sorcery, which is going to be potentially often depending on what you're doing. Then you can use other stuff to kind of sack them out and destroy them and stuff, and kind of, you know, and then if you cast a spell that lets you to destroy them, then you're going to get to investigate again. There's lots of different cool stuff you could pull off there. We've got Erdwald Illuminator here. He's going to allow you to investigate an additional time for the first time that you investigate each turn. Not super useful, but you could potentially see some use for it if you're only, like, you know, running a couple kind of investigate things. You've got the choice here of being able to bring him along. You know, you'd be running the investigating your like command zone or something like that, and then you've got the option there of just getting an additional clue token each turn. Only one though, unfortunately. You're better off kind of running other token doublers like Mondrak or something like that instead, but you've got the choice there if you wanted to. We've got the Rony here. So Rony is going to create a clue token every time a goaded creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents. Also built in goad here with the mark of the Rony that you can attach to another creature there. But this part here, being able to allow you to investigate a lot, is going to be very interesting. There could be a lot of really cool stuff you could potentially pull off with this, like, you know, have her continuously generating the clue tokens and then use something else to be able to sack them out or something. We've got Jenny Flint and Madame Vastra. So these two here were cards that I was looking at when Doctor Who came out, and that I was really looking forward to building a deck around. However, there wasn't too much around, like, you know, clue tokens or something like that at the time. There's a lot of food stuff that kind of came out with Wilds of Eldraine and kind of buffed up food tokens and stuff, and even in the Lord of the Rings set as well. Both of them kind of had a lot of different food stuff in it. However, with the actual colors here, like red, blue, green, I wasn't too sure as to where I could potentially build this, but with, you know, this stuff coming out, Mirza Karlov has lots of really cool stuff to do with clues and stuff. You've got also, you know, let's compare. So first of all, they're both detectives. But if we compare this to, say, the Gleaming Geardrake, this is getting +1/+1 every time you sacrifice an artifact, investigate on battlefield. But then you've also got here the training built in with Jenny, as well as First Strike. You've got here, whenever Vastra deals damage, you're going to be able to create whenever Vastra kills something, you're going to be able to create the food token and clue token. So you could build them up pretty strong. The training as well is very interesting, as well as, you know, here you're able to buff up Vastra whenever you sacrifice one of your clues. Lots of really cool stuff you could potentially pull off with them, and both are really, really cheap, like only 11 cents each. All right, we've got Displaced Dinosaurs. This card is insane. This is an insanely strong card in so many different decks already, but with clue tokens coming out, this is going to be even stronger, I think. With, you know, being able to turn all of your clue tokens into 7/7 dinosaur creatures. So you're just going to be able to have a huge wave of dinosaurs that are all going to be able to, you know, attack and stuff, everything, be able to do everything that they want. So it's only ones that enter the battlefield after this Displaced Dinosaurs is already on the battlefield, unfortunately. But, you know, play this, chuck out a whole bunch of clue tokens at once, and, you know, you've got a dinosaur stew cooking. You've got Time Seeve here. You can sacrifice 5 artifacts to take an extra turn after this one. Relatively, you know, a bit more expensive on the $5.58, you know, $5 area. However, with the fact that you're going to be able to potentially create a whole bunch of clue tokens, this is going to be looking good. You've got Martha Jones. Martha Jones, whenever you sacrifice a clue, she and another target creature aren't going to be able to be blocked. So, you know, being able to pair her up with one of the doctors or something. Like, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here to like the third doctor or something, who gets a +1/+1 for non-token creatures. You're going to be able to potentially buff him up. You've also got like the Fugitive Doctor as well here, which is whenever you sacrifice a clue, you can... So if you actually... This is probably the best pair here, is the Fugitive Doctor, because you can sacrifice a clue whenever you attack, and then when you sacrifice a clue, then her and the Fugitive Doctor can then become unblockable. You can also make it so that the target sorcery is going to get flashback as well. So there's lots of really cool stuff that you could potentially pull off between these two here. We've got Lonas, Cryptozoologist. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get to investigate, and then you get to sacrifice clues with his tap ability, or her tap ability, to be able to look through an enemy's deck, basically. If you get a whole bunch of clues, be able to kind of make them reveal a whole bunch of stuff, and then you get to take something from it, which is really interesting. We've got Tamamos Journal here, going to allow you to investigate once each turn, just for free. Just at the beginning of your upkeep, you just get to investigate, and then you get to sack clues here to be able to look through. This one here, Tamamos Journal, this one here is going to be pretty crazy, I think. I think this is going to be pretty crazy with a clues, you know, be able to, let's say, for example, we put this with, I'm going to talk about Jenny and Mana Vastra. So we sack 3 clues here, then Jenny's going to get +1/+1 3 times, so we can chuck those all onto Vastra. Then Vastra attacks, kills something off. She has to be blocked, so, you know, you can pull off some really nice stuff there. Tamamos Journal, I think, is going to be really, really crazy with this. All right, we've got Timeless Tracker here, going to be able to investigate every time a land enters the battlefield, and then whenever you sacrifice a clue, you get to buff him up too, because why not? We've got Venwal Mysteries here. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, investigate, so you get to do that, and then whenever you sacrifice a clue, you get to create some creature tokens. Then we've got the third Doctor here. We talked a little bit about him before. He's going to be able to get +1/+1 for each of your clues. And then we've got the Academy Manufacturer here, which is the last one here. Already a beast of a card, especially with, what was it? With like the Hobbits, with Frodo and Sam in that deck. But, you know, you're going to be able to create a treasure, a food, and a clue token each time you create a clue token. I can't see this card not being insanely valuable with Murders at Karlov Manor. If people love the deck, love the set, this card's going to be really useful there. But that's it for today, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. What cards you think are going to be really great in Murders at Karlov Manor. What cards I have Murders at Karlov Manor. Which ones you don't agree with me with here. I hope you guys had a great day, and goodbye.